Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, good morning. This is Jeeves here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge, dissecting, peeling back your suggested tracks. This is day 17 in my countdown from 30, tick, 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 to my 1-year anniversary on November 18th, where I have something very special coming. If you're a Tool fan, you'll be very excited. Anyhow, Radiohead obviously is probably one of my second most unique journey I've ever taken in my life on this channel. So many great bands and artists I've listened to, but as a composer, it's just been one hell of a journey. So, had to make the top 30 because of your suggestions. Radiohead, The Tourist is coming right now. So I want to thank you for your time and your energy, with your comments. If you want to leave a comment so that you can get in on this 30-day countdown on the very front of my YouTube page, small video, just watch it for a minute. It tells you how it is I'm searching through my comments to take into consideration a suggested song, something like that. Anyhow, I want to thank you guys so much. You guys know the jig already. These videos don't monetize my channel. If you want to buy me coffee, that's great. It helps what I do with the kids because I'm excited. I'm going to get to work for the kids in the hospitals coming up soon. Still a couple months, but I'm getting ready for that. Or you can go to Patreon. If you don't want to buy me a cup of coffee, you want something for your money, Patreon. As a matter of fact, I have a Radiohead track that I've done there that I didn't do on my main channel too. You maybe just check that out. Maybe just come in for a month and dig out afterwards if you want to just one time come across. And of course, the link for the headsets and my newsboy cap. And most importantly, a link for the Spotify's right here for Radiohead's The Tourist. All right, guys. Okay. Early in the morning. I can do it. I have my Death Wish coffee for the win. All right, guys, let's do this. Radiohead, The Tourist. All right.
The box and no one else but me. Like can't sing a ghost. I guess it's seen the sparks of flowing. No one else would know.
I'm sorry it took me so long to stop. I just didn't want to. Once again, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's a journey where I think, just in my world as being a composer, it's one of those. This is one of those bands. This track is one of those tracks where the power of less is more, but it just the sonic floral essence of composition here is so powerful and so smooth, And one of the first things that I love songs that are in 3/4, and if you're not familiar with that, and you're a pure listener, of which I wish I could be, otherwise then I wouldn't be doing these decompositions. But that da 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 da, that kind of vibe, you know, it's a waltz, and it kind of gives you that thing where you start to kind of saunter in and out and stuff. His voice, once again, I love. He has a sizzle that he seems to be that he's able to bring in and out at the very end of some of these long notes that he holds. And of course, I don't know. I'm kind of right now. I'm still kind of in the moment of listening to this, but the chord changes are beautiful. It reminds me of some Pink Floyd style composition in there too. Some of the chord changes that are happening there. I'm just going to keep going. I'll save some of the other things and my other thoughts for that, but I don't want to put too much time between my stop on this because I truly want to get back to this because it was such a. And then this last little pass, that kind of, I mean the song composition, the build in the energy and everything, all the way to this little instrumental bit that got a little darker, or not a little darker, but a little fuller, a little heavier. I kind of knew and was able to anticipate that they were going to bring us back for another journey here, which I think this is where we're at. So here we go.
Sometimes I get over child. That's when you see They ask me where the hell I'm going at 1,000 feet per second.
I can't help but make that reference to Comfortably Numb. Two totally different songs, but very similar build-ups into these sections that after the hook, there's an instrumental expression. You know, that's the very famous solo for Gilmour in Comfortably Numb, and in this case, this solo is a little more. What I love about this solo and the choice of guitar tone in the solo is, and because I know it's a travesty to some that I don't read the lyrics on my first listen and stuff. I just want to enjoy the beauty of the music, his voice, the instrumentation, composition, arrangement, musicianship. But I like the tone that they chose for that guitar solo. It kind of adds a bit of an agitation in what otherwise is such beautiful chord changes that are going on there. And obviously this experience is ambient and ethereal. And so there's a lot of, all the notes are being, held out nice and long, nice and washy with reverbs and stuff like that. And something else I want to bring up before we get right back into it, his subtle harmonies that he sings. It's just below. And then in the mix, it's not matched. Like, let's just say pop harmonies and pop songs, how, they really hit you with a wall of harmonies and stuff. It's subtle, but it's in the back. And also in the back of the chorus, and maybe some of you fans who are really informed on this and stuff, it sounds like in the back in the chorus, I want to say it sounds like a bit of a group of voices, slightly choral or something like that, but it's not really fat, hard left and right. It's not super obvious, but it's back there. Or maybe it's a guitar overdub with a big washed chords. Or, as we know, there's a great composer that's part of this team, and maybe that could be some kind of a choral pad or something that's being played behind it. I can't quite pull it out clear, but it's just wonderful. This this is why this journey on this channel has been so unique, because I've been able to traverse so many different styles and genres and stuff like that, and this to me is just as impactful as, let's just say, the first time I heard Periphery, or some of the other bands, or dove into Tool and stuff like that, or you know what I mean? Because that's what this channel's been for me. Anyhow, on and on. I went too much on there. Sorry. I'll go back a little more and then we'll finish this whole thing up. Here we go. Man, I loved how that ended, because I wanted to just start actually expressing myself about the bass on this. I know that I kind of glow on the bass with a lot of bands, even though I'm not a bass player. I think maybe out of all the instruments in the world, I think if I have to look back at my life and say what instrument would I have wanted to really study and learn and be maybe be in a band and stuff, believe it or not, I think it would have been the bass. And to me, because it carries so much of the soul of a track, even if it's not obvious. I don't. An old engineer taught me something, Val Valentin, Verve Records. We're talking the 40s and 50s. What's the first thing that you hear when you're conceived? And I was like, what? I didn't quite get that. Let's think about it. I don't know. Your mother's heartbeat at a certain beats per minute, at a certain hertz, or, at 40, 60, 80 hertz, that were programmed with the bottom end. That be it said, so or not, it lives with me, and it's still a part of how I think about the bass. The bass on this track, as subtle as it was so warm and so supportive of the composition. Because if you really think about what we're hearing a lot of higher end parts of the tonal scale, right? I like to call from beetle fart to dog whistle. And there's a lot of brightness and there's a lot of fullness way up there at the 3000 plus K, 2500 K plus. So sculpting out the bottom and keeping that, it's almost like how I think about the bass a lot of times is like, oh shit, fucking, ah, dang it. Is like when you hold water like this. I know that might be a little bit much, but really that's how I think about the bass of the hands. And the water exists in that sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes I get a little overly basic. But the bass on this was beautiful. And this was a great song. I'm going to go back and now I'm going to just kind of check out the lyrics. But I'm curious, when you first heard this song, do you remember where you were? That's kind of a weird question, but that's like one of those soundtrack of life things. Anyhow, I want to thank you so much. I do have on Patreon a Radiohead that I did do. I think I mentioned that earlier. If you want to go check out the Patreon, the link will be down below. But I'm so glad that I got back around to Radiohead before I take my break. After my 1 year anniversary, I'm super stoked you guys brought this to my attention. Thank you all so much. Buy me a cup of coffee, super cool beans, the hat, the headsets, the link, the Patreon link will be down below. And yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, look, I'm kind of lit right now. I'm kind of like such a glide right now. I feel like I want to go out and watch the sunrise now. All right, guys, take care of yourself. That's kind of mushy, but that's the way I'm kind of feeling. It was a great moving track for me. All right, guys, take care. Aloha.